Ecology, so ecosystems, further information, you go to ecology and ecosystem. Alright, so ecology is a study of the distribution and abundance of living organisms, the interactions between them and their environment. The community of living or biotic organisms in conjunction or union / combination with the non-living abiotic components, e.g. water, light, radiation, temperature, humidity, where that is just the water, vapor, or gas, concentration in air. Atmosphere, acidity, and soil of their environment is called an ecosystem. So the community of living with the non-living components is an ecosystem. These biotic and abiotic components are linked together through nutrient cycles and energy flows. Energy from the sun enters the system through photosynthesis and is incorporated into plant tissue. By feeding on plants and on one another, animals play an important role in the movement of matter or substances with mass and volume and energy through the system. They also influence the quantity of plant and microbial biomass, which is mass of living organisms, present. By breaking down dead organic matter, decomposers release carbon back to the atmosphere and facilitate nutrient cycling by converting nutrients stored in dead biomass back to a form that can be readily used by plants and other microbes. Yes, basically, organisms cycle through the nutrients from the dead matter back into the environment, etc., for easy digestion by plants and other microbes. And now here's a figure here. So terrestrial biomes, or collection of flora, plants, and fauna, animals, are shaped by temperature and precipitation. So here's annual precipitation. So the 100 centimeters, 200 centimeters, 300, and all the way above. So that's about 1 meter, 2 meters, 3 meters. 4 meters of rain. Oh, that is a lot of rain. Okay, so annual temperature, and then this is temperature from this is low minus 10 degrees Celsius all the way to 30 degrees Celsius here for hot weather. And now just to illustrate the different types of labeling characterization here. So a tundra is going to be cold and low precipitation. A boreal forest is in between here, so it's still cold but has more precipitation, snow, rain, etc. And then you have a temperate grassland, can vary from cold all the way to this semi-hot there. Yeah, so this cold desert or temperate grassland, and that's annual precipitation is very low right there. So desert, or you can have a woodland, shrubland, slightly more. Temperate seasonal forest, typical forest is over here. And then you have this temperate rainforest, so it's not too cold or too hot, but it's very high precipitation. Then you have the subtropical desert, so even hotter, and the precipitation is still very low. Then you can also have a tropical seasonal forest or savanna, so it's very hot and medium rain or precipitation. Then you could also have a tropical rainforest, which is super hot and very high precipitation. That's quite fascinating. And now let's take a look at some images showing each type of these setups over here. So let's look at a tundra, just to illustrate it, how it would look like. So there's tundra in Greenland. Notice how it's very low precipitation, and it's also super cold. So it's you have basically over here there isn't that much vegetation. There's some icebergs, so you can know it's super cold over there. Very, very fascinating. Yeah, so some people live there. All right, going further. Here's a boreal. Let's see the pronunciation here.
Boreal forest.
This is boreal forest in Russia. So boreal is over here. So it's cold and not that much precipitation, or just medium. So it looks like this over here. Now here is a figure, temperate grassland. This is from eartheclipse.com. And temperate is over here. Temperate grassland, etc. And that's low precipitation and varying temperature over there. So it looks like this. So it's medium vegetation there. Going further, so now if you look at this one, cold desert in North India. So yeah, its temperature isn't too high. I mean, yeah, it's not that high, so it's cold and it's not that much precipitation. Here's woodland in Illinois. So let's see the woodland setup over here. Woodland is here, then after that's temperate forest. So this one is a bit more precipitation, but it's still varying temperatures across here. And that's a temperate to vary a lot. So temperate varies in temperature. and distinct seasons. And there's temperate rainforest, and then after that, it's the tropical stuff that over there. Let's just take a look here. All right, so here, so you got more precipitation, you got more growth, bigger trees there. And now here's a shrubland in Texas, USA. And going back here, so that's woodland over here, shrubland, yeah, still precipitation isn't too high. Then when you get over to the forest, that's when the higher rain there. All right, let's go back here. So that was the woodland, shrubland, and in Texas, USA. So it looks like this. Still have some cactus, so isn't too much precipitation. Now you have temperate seasonal forests in Slovakia, so you have more precipitation, and temperature can vary cold to hot or cold to warm there. And now you have temperate rainforest, and here's those higher precipitation. Notice how it's a lot of vegetation there, a lot of rain, and so on. This one is medium rain over here. So that's a temperate seasonal forest. And yeah, so it's not as much as this one right here. You can see the thick vegetation. And then going further, let's take a look at this one right here. This is a subtropical desert. And this is in Arizona here. So it's very hot and low precipitation. This is in Arizona. You say this is from bio.librarytext.org or libretext.org. Yeah, it's very, very interesting. Let's make this smaller. All right, let's go to the next one here. Here's a tropical seasonal forest in Northern Ireland. So this is a lot of vegetation here, and the temperature can go varies from again cold to hot. So it isn't and it is medium precipitation there, or it's a decently high precipitation actually. Yeah, and here's a savanna, Northern Australia. So it looks like this. And let's go back over. Actually, this is seasonal. Whenever you have a forest, you have high rain. Actually, yeah. So high rain, and now you have a savanna. Let's take a look at that savanna there, all the way up top here. Just get my memory back. So there's savannas right here / tropical, seasonal forest, and yeah, so it's precipitation is around here. So it's high, but it's high temperature, and precipitation is in a medium to high range over there. And then you have the ultra high ones that are tropical rainforest there. So this tropical seasonal forest could be high, or savanna, lower precipitation, but still hot over there. Let's go back here. So that's savanna. All right. So here's a tropical seasonal forest. So there's more precipitation. There's a less one here, savanna, Northern Australia. You can tell there's a higher precipitation. Look at the bottom there. This one is less here. And yeah, less vegetation, less rain, etc. And let's make this a bit smaller. All right. Next setup is over here. And now what we have here's a tropical rainforest. It's Amazon rainforest. So you have super thick vegetation and a high rain, high temperature, etc. in Colombia. Very, very fascinating. Here's an area of the Amazon rainforest in Brazil. So yes, very, very thick vegetation. And yes, hot and a lot of rain. And here's a map of the Amazon rainforest ecoregions as delineated or outlined by the WWF, World Wildlife Foundation, in white, and the Amazon drainage basin in blue. So there's the white area, this is Amazon rainforest over there. And then you have this drainage basin and basin in blue over there. And that's where a drainage basin is an area of land where precipitation collects and drains off into a common outlet, such as into a river, bay, or other body of water. So this collects it over here and drains it out elsewhere, usually even outside there. Yeah, and so on. So a bay is a recessed coastal body of water that directly connects to a larger main body of water, such as an ocean, a lake, or even another bay. So that's a bay. And here's top-down illustration of a drainage basin. So you have this, all these connects over to it, basically like the nerves of a brain, which is quite interesting there. Or the veins of a leaf there, and then it absorbs it all and cuts it in. All right, continue further. So the Earth's physical environment is shaped by solar energy and topography. See the pronunciation here?
Topography.
Yes, so topography, which is forms and features of land surfaces. The amount of solar energy input varies in space and time due to the spherical shape of the Earth and its axial tilt. Yeah, so this the solar energy depends on the shape of the Earth and its tilt. So just note, solar energy is radiant light and heat from the sun. And here's the axis of the Earth to illustrate how it's different heat there. So the axis of the Earth remains oriented in the same direction, but with reference to the background stars, regardless. Basically, it's oriented in the same direction with reference to the background stars, regardless of where it is in orbit. Northern Hemisphere summer occurs at the right side of this diagram, where the North Pole red. So that's North Pole there. Let's stop this. Yeah, so there's stop this. It's rotating this way, and there's the North Pole red is directed toward the sun. Winter at the left. So there's the red. Let's just go here and stop it. And whoops, and stop there. So this one right here, when the sun is closest to this northern hemisphere, that is summer for the northern one. And likewise, this will be winter there because it's super far away. So it's rotating. It can be colder there. And then if you press play here and all the way here, yeah. So right at this point, now you have summer here at the southern hemisphere over there. And then this one would be a bit colder. Yes, this would be the winter side. On the top side is winter, as it rotates daily there. And let's just erase all this and press play. Oh, let's just erase this first. All right, and this, and press play. Anyways, there it is. So you can see this. The solar energy depends on the shape of the Earth and its axial tilt. Yeah, due to the spherical. So basically, you have the amount of changes. You have the seasons because this is tilted towards the sun in one direction and away from the other. All right, let's continue further. So variation in solar energy input drives weather and climate patterns. Weather is the day-to-day temperature and precipitation activity, whereas climate is a long-term average of weather. Yeah, so climate is long-term average, and the weather is day-to-day, and then climate is the average of the weather. Typically averaged over a period of 30 years equals climate. Variation in topography also produces environmental heterogeneity. Let's see the pronunciation here.
Heterogeneity.
Or heterogeneity, variation or nonconformity. On the windward or upwind side of a mountain, for example, air rises and cools with water changing from gaseous to liquid or solid form, resulting in precipitation such as rain or snow. As a result, wet environments allow for lush, thriving vegetation to grow. In contrast, conditions tend to be dry on the leeward or downwind side of a mountain due to the lack of precipitation as air descends and warms, and moisture remains as water vapor in the atmosphere. Yes, so temperature and precipitation are the main factors that shape terrestrial biomes. So, that's all the animals and fauna, plants together. So, MES note, precipitation is any product of the condensation of atmospheric water vapor that falls under gravitational pull from clouds, so such as snow or rain. And condensation is a change of the state of matter from the gas phase into liquid phase, and is the reverse of vaporization, which is from the liquid to the gas. So here's the upwind side or windward side. So here's from point of reference. So here's point of reference right here. Then downward is the leeward from point of reference. Yeah, so from this side, upwind right here. So if you're in the front of the mountain, this is upwind, and then it goes upwards. And if it was a mountain, it would rise upwards and then cool. So if you go here, so on the upward side of a mountain, so you have a mountain like this here, and then the air rises upwards from the wind. So on this upwind side, it rises and cools. So it gets higher up, it cools down and changes from a gas to a liquid or solid. It starts raining here. So on the front side of this, you're going to have a higher precipitation, and thus wet environments allow for you have more vegetation to grow. So you have trees, etc., growing, etc. And then on this other side down here, so this air goes down and heats up as it goes lower. And it's on the leeward or downward side right here. And then air descends and warms and stays inside the atmosphere. So it does not rain. So it just stays inside here and does not rain. So then this is more desert area over here. All right, very, very fascinating. Anyway, so that's point of reference, a hypothetical direction of wind going this way. Examples showing definitions of windward, upwind, and leeward, downwind. And so a biome is a large collection of flora and fauna occupying a major habitat. And flora is all the plant life present in a particular region or time, and fauna is all of the animal life present in a particular region or time.